Tonight we're talking about the launch of an emergency program. Why? Because we're in an emergency. People have seen the news tonight, 7,000 new cases of COVID over the last 24 hours, deaths rising, hospital admissions rising. The second wave is now hitting us. So it's a combination of the pandemic, the health threat, but also, the threat to jobs. The withdrawal of the furlough scheme by Sunak was brutal. And it said to me, this is almost like going back to Thatcher, where the Tories in the 1980s said, actually, unemployment doesn't count. It doesn't matter. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. We're on the edge of a major recession and a massive increase in unemployment.
We've seen the consequences of people being faced with a decision on being able to isolate or forced to go into work due to the inability to afford to live on £95 and 85 pence a week. Nobody should be faced with that choice. But it's something that impacts more than 2 million workers in this country. I'd urge everybody to join the campaign, and let's level up by making those bad employers contribute instead of having an advantage over those that try to do the right thing.
We need a meaningful strategy to save jobs and defend decent and safe working conditions, and Rishi Sunak's plan falls far short and it fails us all.
We live in a very unequal society. It was unequal before COVID. COVID has drawn out those inequalities, and the fight of our life needs to be mounted. Otherwise, post-COVID, we will go back to the very inequalities that we need to challenge.
Students are being increasingly blamed for the rising cases. We are facing the situation due to an incompetent government and universities. It was them who told students it was safe to come back, crammed everyone into student halls, and all because profit once again comes before our safety and well-being.
You can't have safe communities without safe schools. But what he has done is left schools and their leaders completely unsupported, on purpose, in my opinion. So they've got someone to blame when it all goes wrong.
Many workers have been unacceptably exposed to this fatal virus because the risks weren't controlled and PPE wasn't available in the quantities needed to the high enough precautionary level specification.
COVID during lockdown, to me, exposed all the failings of capitalism and the free market. The idea is that it will provide for everything and we don't need to worry about it and we'll all have jobs, was completely exposed. If you are doing public services, you should be in public ownership.
Thousands of job cuts on the horizon, and that could turn into tens of thousands of job cuts. And that is because the governments have funded the train operating companies, but have not funded TfL. And we're currently only funded up to the end of October, beginning of November on TfL. And that could mean thousands and thousands of job cuts if we don't do something about it. Meanwhile, billions of pounds of taxpayers' money are being shoveled into the pockets of private shareholders through the train operating companies. It'd be better, really, if they just give the money straight to the shareholders. And if workers can't struggle legally, they will find ways to struggle illegally.
Both crises are rooted in a system which prioritises profit over our ecosystems, our nature, our environment, and the health of people on this planet.
Up till the 20th of September, the eviction ban was still in place. So it's quite clear we need an emergency programme to save both lives and the livelihoods of working class people in this country.
So I'm calling on all of you to stand in solidarity with migrants. Don't let the economic recession that's coming, a very, very difficult time, put us in a situation where we're allowing people to be scapegoating, because when they come for one of us, they come for all of us.
And it has to be said loud and clear here today that the running theme through the austerity agenda and the Coronavirus Act is eugenics. These policies that the government have in are designed to harm, they're designed to kill, they're designed to cause distress.
I have seen Tory after Tory claiming to be helping, but just plunging that system further and further down. Well, right now, we need a plan. We need someone to save our doctors, our nurses, our children.
It's no accident that the Black Lives Matter movement emerged during the COVID crisis. Both the coronavirus and its economic ramifications have impacted disproportionately on Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities.
Durante esta pandemia hemos vivido y sufrido los devastadores recortes laborales, los trabajadores más vulnerables.
During this pandemic, we faced disaster and job cuts that most of them were suffered by the most vulnerable workers.
The TUC and Keir Starmer are not going to be people that are going to lead the fight back against the rotten system that the Tories are trying to put on us.
Please register your support for it by going on the website and signing up to the emergency programme. But please be part of your local groups and your trade unions and become an activist and be part of saying no to profit before people and to create a world for people before profit.